Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of the Origins podcast with your hosts Tim and Rob. Um, Back with another podcast. We've got a few questions we want to talk about today, but just kind of before we get into that, just we'll go through the usual weekly update where we've both been at. It's the same old every single week pretty much. But Tim, why don't you take it away and give us an update on how things have been going?
Hi guys. Yeah, everything's been going well. Down to about 230 pounds, and we're just holding that for a little while. A little bit of a split change down to pretty much 4 days a week now. I don't know if I spoke about that last week. I know I said about changing gyms. Down to pretty much 4 days a week now for a while. 3 days a week at Metro, and then on a Friday every week I'm going to Ultraflex in Normanton, which is about 45 minutes away on the M62. First time I went last week. I'm training with my client Ivor there every week because he's in prep. He's like 30 odd weeks out of England junior bodybuilding, but it'll be good to train with him every week and see him every week. But I was really impressed with the gym. Really impressed. Doing upper on a Friday, and they've got the Incline Nautilus Nitro press, which is just sensational. And obviously, I use the flat press on the push day, and then they've got the Nautilus pull down as well, which is just so good. I haven't done it in ages. I forgot how good that machine is. The drop off in the short is just beautiful. So I was really impressed with the gym, to be fair. But apart from that, nothing else has really changed. What about you?
Well, I was just going to ask, what is the new split that you changed it to 4 days?
Push and arms, and then like posterior, off legs, but it's like quads, only one ham, and then upper.
Fairs. I've been running a 5-day split where you cut out then.
It's a little bit more whole body being ticked off. Focus towards hams now. What about you? Do you say you've changed? You've gone back to 5 days? Say.
Well, I've been running 5 days, but like that's been my split. But every single week for the last 4 weeks, I've taken an extra rest day because I've just felt beat up. Yeah. I don't think I can do 5 days a week consistently. I did it for 2 weeks, and every single week since I've taken an extra day off. So I think I'm just going to adjust the split to suit that because we trialed it during prep, didn't we? And we both, after I don't know how long it was, like that Saturday session we had was just completely pointless by the end of it. We were so beat up. And I thought obviously now more food, better recovery capabilities, but I just if anything I'm more tired from.
Do you have an arm day?
It's pushing.
Exactly. So even that, it's still push, isn't it? I mean, what I might do now and again is if I feel okay and I've got the recovery capabilities to do so, I'll just do an arms on a Saturday and take it away from the end of the upper and just go in and just literally do like a pump session as an arms, because that's going to be fine. If that week I feel fresh and good sleep that week. But when it's push and arms as well, and you're going in and you're pressing as well, the fatigue you accumulate is still huge, isn't it? It's not really an active rest day at that point.
No, well, I had it today, and I was driving back from the gym like yawning. I was so tired just from doing. I mean, I did people may have seen from my story today, but I did the flat hammer strength press, which I haven't done in ages, and everyone in the gym has been raving about it, saying how good it was. So I was like, I'll give it another go, and it's just not good.
I agree. I've seen there's been other people we know rave about it and use it consistently. I've never gotten with it personally.
But it's like a slight, the bench is a slight incline, but the path of motion of the, I guess it's like the arm, it's not, it doesn't feel natural at all, because you almost have to get really. Yeah. I feel like I have to go like really far down. So if you're pressing like a bar or a Smith, but come down to here, I have to like move really far and then push it away from me almost, because it kind of like hooks back up. It's not ideal. So I'm just gonna do a reverse band flat Smith or something instead, because
But you're enjoying the gym, the new gym.
Yeah, it's a good vibe in there. They've got like these massive speakers. So you have like a typical warehouse where they have like the bit where it's got the roof and stuff. On the top of that is these huge speakers. So when they turn that up and put some good music on, it's a good vibe in there, and it's never too busy either, which is good.
Yeah, similar to mine. It's never busy, which is what you want. It's a good. The people who train there, I'm not going to lie, aren't unbelievable trainers, but it's still a good crack in there. And as I said, the music's loud, and it's got that balance of being where you get on the kit you want, but there's still a decent little buzz in there.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm happy with it. Sounds like the right move for you, moving from gym joint then.
Yeah, I think so. I think longer term it's not, because there are a lot of limitations to it. But me and Leah are looking to move pretty soon. So if we can find a gym that's like nearby to where we move to, like, well, I'll just do that instead. Because I have the option of Physique Gym.
Hempstead.
Yeah. So that's like 45 minutes from where I am now. But depending on where I move, that could easily become like 30, 25. Which is easy.
Bro, just do one session a week at Physique, and it's I find it better because I was trekking like 45 minutes a day to York. Now I just trek 15. But then on a Friday, I look forward to my day out at Normanton, where I use the good kit and I spend longer there. Train with someone as well. You could do that every Friday for an upper session and tick off, and basically I just use it to use the kit that I haven't got during the week as well. So I spend a lot of time on the prime cable stack, an incline press, a pull down, etc. that I don't really have the novelty of using during the week.
Yeah, I guess so, because it is kitted out there. It's got everything. Yeah. Or like,
pay day pass once a week.
Yeah, I think we said this last week though. It works out with just paying another gym membership.
Yeah, I guess. How much is a day pass?
Well, I don't know, but I assume it'll be a minimum tenner.
Yeah, I think it's 6. I think I'm paying 6.
Exactly.
To do the classic minimum £10 card spend though, so I'm trying to get cash out.
But yeah, so enough of that like little ramble there. We've put some questions out on the Instagram. We've had a few responses. Some like longer topics than others. I think we're going to save, like, for example, we've had a question on sleep, and I think that's something that we can save for an actual podcast and like actually dig deep into that in the future. But yeah, we'll do it next week then.
Full podcast dedicated to sleep and delve into it.
Yeah. So I'll kick it off. We have a question from Mr. Sparksy, Alex. Worst kit you've ever used?
Watson.
Any
knock off Watson. Worst kit.
We're talking specific machine here.
Right. What? So my worst ever machine that I've been on.
Oh, that's hard, you know.
I tell you what, bro. I think like a techno gym seated ham, where the pad's on your shin. And
yeah.
One of them where it's literally like a leg breaker.
The sheer force on the knee, like ripping it apart.
Yeah, that's got to be up there.
Yeah. I mean, talking like gym brands that are supposed to be good, I would put the hammer strength incline press in there.
What, as overrated?
Yeah, as in like a really poor piece of kit.
As in the seated one?
The seated one, yeah, the incline press. The one that we used to do all the time, which I think has contributed to my shoulder issues.
Tell you what else as well, that overrated, the prime presses, especially the flat one. That's what I call them. I think they're horrible. But I don't go with them at all.
Yeah.
But yeah,
definitely. I've got one, the Watson leg press. So it's not bad because it's a bad piece of kit, but the pins to load it are so high that when you are putting the plates on and off, it's literally like a cardio session. You use it, didn't you? Putting like 13 plates aside on there is fucking horrible.
And then the Watson one that's got the 2 foot plates, that's just massive.
Oh yeah, that's horrible.
Massive seat as well. It's like the seat is like huge. Yeah, they're not great. And then any Matrix kit that you find in a Pure Gym, probably.
Matrix hack. I think the Matrix hack is the worst hack that's ever been built.
I've never used it. Is it horrible?
I couldn't use it. I did 1 rep on it without any load, and the foot plate's not big enough. So at the bottom, like the heels come up, the knees are like massively forward. And it's just impossible to use.
It's like even like cables in Pure, like you're tugging them and there's like friction, like the resistance of the cable. Like there's like no eccentric force because there's like friction taking over. Just like it's really weird to be on. It's just garbage kit. But then
yeah,
like 12 quid a month. So what do you expect?
I feel like the only
Pure, you know, is on the app. It tells you how many people are in the gym, and I think that's a really good feature.
Yeah.
I think that's like a good feature. Did you know?
I've not been to a Pure Gym since like first year of uni.
So if you log on and put in the which one you're going to, it'll tell you how many people are in that gym at that amount of time.
That's actually
it's quite a good feature. That.
Yeah.
Give it to them. Good question that from Project Sparks.
I feel like there's definitely ones that we've missed out there. On the same topic, what about like best pieces?
Honestly, I'm in love with Nautilus presses at the minute. The Nautilus pull down and the Nautilus presses. It's the first time I've been on that Incline one. And yes, it's light, but Jesus Christ, it's so nice. I saw Cuba on the Nautilus plate loaded pressing.
Yeah.
And he put like how humbled he was comparative to the Gymshot version. And I know I've been seeing people on that Gymshot version. Gymshot? Yeah, in Rotherham. And I've been saying from day one when I was on it at Shreds, like this is so much harder than the Gymshot one. Yeah. But I think Nautilus press and pull down, Cybex row. I miss it so much. I was praying Normanton had a Cybex row and it doesn't. Like, it's just go.
I've only ever been to 3 gyms that have the Cybex row, the GOAT version, which is Ultimate, Rotherham, and Gym Joint. Yeah.
Ooh. Shreds.
Oh yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah.
Fair play Ultimate having that. It is the GOAT.
The one Ultimate's great apart from everyone drops it, so it's always broken.
It's slam central on it, isn't it? Jermaine Sullivan doing most of it. Who looks good from the rear, by the way, at the minute.
He does. I don't know if he'll be watching this, but he does look very good. I'm excited to see where he ends up.
Any other fantastic piece of kit? Oh, bro, we've got the. I swear you love this. The Nautilus single arm preacher. You love that, don't you?
Overhead one.
Yeah.
That's the best curl machine I've ever used. I've never experienced like a pain like it in my biceps.
Yeah, it is really good.
Really good. Yeah, I mean anything Nautilus. Cybex hack for me. I know you can't hack, but Cybex hack.
Yeah, I agree. It's the I mean, the Cybex pivot press, bro, is sensational. I've got it later on today. I can't wait. It's beautiful. And you've never seen me have range of motion like that in a leg press.
Yeah, I saw that actually. I was like, fucking hell, how has he gone that low?
Yeah, it's unbelievable, bro. It's built for me. It's perfect. Yeah, literally my hands touch my calves on every rep. It's beautiful. With the amount of ankle flexion that I'm getting, it's absolutely fine. It's
I never knew you to have that like level of range of motion on a leg press ever.
No. So
knees.
We'll no knee pain. Yeah, we'll run that up later on. Shall I grab a question off mine?
Go for it.
Let it go off. Fucking no. Oh, favorite gym wear. I remember that one. Clothing. Not gasp. Anything that's not gasp.
Or chosen few.
Oh, yeah.
To be fair, some of the chosen few stuff's quite good. I saw actually today, it came up as like a sponsored ad. You know the Represent Owners Club design?
Yeah.
It's literally that. on the back, and then a little chosen few on the front. It's exactly the same. It's the same colours as well. I just went Nike now.
Yeah, most of the time I wear some rep stuff. I bought there's this shop called About Blank. It's really cool, and I've been wearing my About Blank tee. I mean, it's spenny, but they are nice and oversized in the gym.
Is that like the thick looking one that you've got?
It was like purple colour.
Yeah. I saw that. I was wondering where that was from.
Yeah, Nike. And then the Go Next joggers. Hugh's just gone and got some as well.
Yeah, you replied to my story like, where are these from? I've seen everyone wearing them.
Yeah. Setting the trend, the loungewear joggers.
Got them on now, actually.
So have I. And then the Jordans or Dunks, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
When to increase carbs in the off season?
Do you want to go
as well? Shout out the man.
Gurinder. Oh, big Gurinder. How's he doing at the minute? I haven't seen much of.
Well, yeah, he's left.
Social. Oh, is he?
He's left because he's got a house. He's just got a house with his brother. So at the minute he's taking a little bit of time off. So I presume he's coached himself a bit and wants to know when to increase carbs in the off season. Firstly, I'd say make sure digestion's on point. There's no point increasing food if it's just going to come out the other end and you're just adding food for the sake of it. And then we're going to be looking at kind of like stagnance in. Also, make sure composition allows an increase in food as well. You know, there's a point of diminishing returns of composition in an off season, and then we're just probably going to look for stagnations in progression in scale weight and progression in the gym.
I think it's as simple as that. Is if either of those two things are stalling, then look to increase food. I think in terms of how much, did he say a number there?
No, he didn't.
I think normally like a fair increase in food is about like 20-25 grams of carbs. Would you ever like increase fats?
I typically will increase carbohydrates to an extent, and then I'll bump up fats a little, and then I'll go with carbs again. I mean, carbs primarily, we want to be increasing carbs the most because they're our primary energy source, but for the ease of getting food in, I'll increase some fats as well, because, you know, once we've got carbs to a silly number, it's very hard to keep fats down. Yeah. And then on a rest day, I'll bump up some fats as well when we're making changes. Primarily through carbs. What about you?
Oh, the same. I thought that maybe if he's asking that question, he might want to know about fats as well. I think it really is as simple as if there's something stagnating or stalling, whether it be body weight or gym performance. And I think not just like a few days of stalling either. Like you know,
freezing like fucking.
Am I? Hold on.
It could be me. It's just come up on my screen saying your connection's unstable.
So it is you then.
Could be me. You could be sweet, and it could just be me.
Well,
was I lagging with you?
You, I think you froze whilst I was talking.
I think we're sweet now. Anyway, I think we sound
okay. Yeah. Anyway,
yeah, basically, if digestion's fine, composition's fine. Once we see some kind of stall in body weight climbing or in progression in the gym, it might be time to bump up food, primarily through carbohydrates in the off season. If they're super high, bump up some fats, or even as well, I think it's important to remember you need to be bumping up protein at some points, because when carbohydrates rise, you're going to get a crazy amount of trace protein, and then your total protein goal for the day is going to be coming from a lot of trace as opposed to direct protein sources.
Yeah.
But yeah, I hope you're well, bro, as well. First ever show experience, physical, mental, social challenges. Still pretty raw for you, so I'll let you take it away for a bit.
Pretty fresh, yeah. I mean, it's just, I was speaking to someone about this in the gym the other day, in terms of like being on stage like neither of us are really the sort of people to go on stage for anything really. I'd say probably more so I am.
I'd say my biggest fear bar aeroplanes is public speaking. I know it's not the same, but standing in front of a crowd and public speaking is like my worst nightmare. So to stand on the stage still is pretty similar. Like it's not me at all.
Yeah, well, when me and Leah went to Greece a couple of years ago, they would have like every night there'd be entertainment, and it'd be like the sort of entertainment where they get the people up to start dancing and doing like just like hotel entertainment stuff. And I would like force Leah to sit as far back from the stage as possible. Like my palms would be sweating. I'd be terrified that they would point at me and pull me to go. You can't be that guy that's like, no. And stay in the seat. So being on stage is like terrifying for me. But surprisingly, when it came to bodybuilding, shock, the thing that I've been practicing every single day for months on end, I was fine. And it was something that I actually enjoyed it.
I didn't even at the time I completely forgot the crowd was even there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I just was on stage loving it. You forget it's there, don't you?
You forget it's there. You can't see anything because of the light.
No, I think you nailed it in terms of you've done this every fucking day. You've done it probably 3 times a day posing. You've worked for this daily. What's going to be different, really? If you nail it and you practice, you're going to go up there confident. I think if you're confident in yourself of the work you put in, from perspective of training, actually adhering to prep and then posing, then what have you got to worry about on stage?
I didn't think about that side of it. All I was thinking about was the actual competing and being there to win and being composed on stage. Like that's part of the game is to not shit your pants and start shaking and sweating on stage because you're so nervous.
That's what's to shit your pants about if you've nailed it. You know what I mean? Like you're in that position there, and it's like shit. Everything's on. This is the best I could possibly look. I've not cheated once. I've not done anything. Mm-hmm. There's nothing to worry about. I think it's the people that have, binged or gone out or done this or that, and then they're afterwards they're like, "Fuck me! If I didn't do that, if I didn't do this," then they start worrying.
Yeah. What did you say in the question? Was it social?
Physical, mental, social challenges. I think social is the biggest. Is you're basically an alien to the world. You are from another planet for 6 months. You are not a normal human being. You're literally voluntarily starving yourself to go up on a stage. So you can't do any social event. You can, but obviously you can't eat out. You can't drink, and obviously that's the majority of social events in this country are surrounded by those things. And then, you are a bit of an outcast, aren't you? You got to do steps, cardio training. Everything's just, you can't miss a beat.
Yeah.
So I guess you definitely do feel alienated from the rest of the world.
Yeah. Like from a social standpoint, there really is no social aspect to your life. Wow. And if there is, it's like, it's managed and you don't stay out too late because of getting to bed early enough, getting enough sleep. Even if it's like taking meals with you to wherever you're going to hit your meals on time. It's not a normal mindset to be in. It's not a normal kind of like social environment to be in. You can choose. What's that?
Prioritize coffee dates as your social interaction with other humans, just black coffees.
Literally. Or like, so I was looking back and thinking like, how could I have done prep differently or made it a little bit easier? And I think you can there's an argument where doing more social things is going to help more in terms of like dealing with, I don't know, like the lack of dopamine and stuff that comes with there's nothing to stimulate you really in terms of getting a dopamine release other than food a few times a day, but even then it's so minimal, or like excessive caffeine intake. So going out and doing things that you enjoy that aren't food related, I think will help a lot. Or even if it's like going out and doing things that involve walking, like you're getting your activity in at the same time.
I think something that helped me massively was getting steps in subconsciously without actually thinking these are steps. As I say, go to a city or go to a city or shopping centre and just go with family or go with your other half or whatever, and walk about, and then a coffee shop and have a black coffee and accumulate 8,000-10,000 steps, doing something where your mind's elsewhere as opposed to thinking, I'm dragging my legs around the village for the 50th time in the last 3 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to take a lot of stress, and you're going to get some enjoyment out of it as well.
Well, that's exactly what I didn't do. Like, I don't think I did a day like that where I was out and about, really. And you end up, like you said, dragging your feet, doing the same route every single day because you haven't got like the brain power to take you somewhere else.
The route. That's the thing. It's the same route.
Yeah.
Over, especially towards the depth of it when you are dragging your feet, and you just, at this point you've got this long left, and then 3 weeks later this long left's taking longer because you're moving slower, and then it just becomes slower and slower.
And then when you've got weighted vest involved.
And then I didn't have the vest, thankfully, But I think you've also got to remember, like, it might not be doable because if this person's got a full-time job as well, then you've got to fit in cardio, steps, meals, training, and a good night's sleep. It's going to become a very monotonous, robotic life for a period of time.
Yeah.
The weekends might be a friend there. I mean, we're not selling it, but it's the reality, isn't it? It's voluntary starvation, and you're in the gutter for months. I mean, it's rewarding. It's the most rewarding thing from perspective of how you look on stage, but also like rewarding in terms of how like proud you are of yourself. But yeah, it's grueling.
But yeah, that kind of touched on the physical side of it there. It is as hard as everyone makes out it is, if not harder at times.
I think the first time harder because you think, I expect this, but then it's worse than what you expect, isn't it? Let's be honest, it is. Like, you prepare yourself for the worst, but then you've not experienced this feeling of starvation and tiredness before that.
Yeah. I think mentally, I think we're maybe a little bit different to a lot of people in that, like, we actually thoroughly enjoy the process of it, and we loved prepping, we loved competing, we loved doing the day in and day out of that. But I think for other people that maybe don't have the same level of passion for it, mentally it can be really taxing and really take a toll. I'm not speaking from experience, but like just that level of physical fatigue and how hard you're pushing yourself is not optimal. And coming off the back of it, trying to re-establish a normal as well when you've not been normal for so long, mentally is really hard to do. We've done a podcast before about like post-show and the food side of it, but the mental side of it is just as hard.
It is, just coming back to normality. It definitely is. Thankfully, as you said, with us, normality is not quite as extreme, but we can jump straight back into that off-season life where someone that potentially is, doing a show just for the first time, just wants to do it as like like an achievement kind of thing, and isn't 100% set on bodybuilding. It is going to be tough, and that mental side is going to be harder for you as well. Particularly saying no to things, I think, because it's different, from a diet where you can get away with this, you can track this, you can track that, you can squeeze this in. So yeah, it's from a mental, physical, social side of things, it's really, really tough, but it's also so rewarding as well. So it's worth it.
I think maybe as well that we might have a different perspective on it than someone that's competed for like 10 years.
Yeah.
100%. We've done it once, and it could be very different after consecutive years of being put through the same process, that we may be, like you said, not selling it, where it probably does get easier over time. Not easier, but you get used to the feeling.
Yeah, I think it's just a case of adapting and getting used to it, and kind of finding, as you do in just training, you find things that suit you over time, you adapt, and you find things that work better for you. I think, next time you prep, you'll do things slightly differently. I think last prep, this was really difficult. How can I make this easier? How can I do this? So that's definitely the case. But yeah, I just don't like people who sell it short and say it's easy. It's definitely not easy. It's one of the hardest things in the world to do.
Yeah.
What you also got to always remember, it's voluntary. You're making yourself do this. You are choosing to do this.
Yeah.
So don't moan that much.
What would you do differently?
Take my foot off the gas. Jesus Christ.
Just calm down a bit.
Calm down a bit and not chase mad condition for the amount of muscle that I had. Well, it'll be different next time, so I can get away with it. But definitely take my foot off the gas a little bit. What would I do differently? Prioritize recovery and the amount of work that I did. I didn't really adapt my volume too much. I was still going in and nailing myself on legs towards the end of prep, a week out, 2 weeks out, same volume as it was at the beginning. I didn't think I rested enough because I had that mentality, even that George Osborne mentality that it was just more is better, more is better. So yeah, I think I just burnt myself into the ground massively. So I think it would be a case of recovery management, fatigue management really, and taking my foot off the gas a bit.
Yeah. So I'll go on to another question then, unless there's anything else you wanted to add on to that.
No, I was just thinking what else I'd do differently, but no, I don't think so. No.
Okay, cool. Don't come last.
No. Steady. Next one then, brother.
This question's from Ross MCL, one of your clients, I believe.
Yeah, he's a Celtic fan as well. Should be seeing him. Well, we were meant to be seeing each other at the weekend. I think it'll be next time I go up to Glasgow. We'll train together.
Can't be that often you find another Celtic fan.
You are?
Can't be that often you find another one. Thoughts on decline pressing for chest development?
Yeah, good for the costal region. Personally, I prefer the only real kind of lower chest work I'll do is a cuffed costal fly. I'm not a huge fan of a decline bench or anything like that, but I definitely think the lower pec region definitely needs some work as much as other regions of the pec.
I think if you can get the right machine in terms of decline press, then it's more suitable. But let's take a decline bench, for example. Like when we're looking at a machine or an exercise, we want to kind of prioritize stability as much as possible. With a decline bench and your legs are up in the air, where is the stability coming from? And like obviously the issues are coming with the bench press anyway. The fact that it's a barbell. But we do like you said, we do like a decline or costal fly to bias those fibers of the pec.
I don't think that decline press is that bad. I think that's
what I was thinking of when I said about the machine, because that one is actually quite good.
I think prioritize. I think we typically prioritize the upper chest region, that upper shelf, that top line more up, because majority of males will have an underdeveloped upper chest comparative to a lower chest. So it's not like we're going to be doing as much decline work, but I definitely think tick it off across the week. But my preference would be like a cuffed costal fly. All that hammer strength decline press is nice, to be fair. I'm trying to think of other ones that there are. I wouldn't be. Is there even machines that you lay down?
Well, there's the Atlantis one, but that's got your feet are up in the air.
That's what I mean. Like, fuck that.
I don't know.
Hanging back down like against gravity, my feet up in the air.
Blood's rushing to your head.
Like 50 Cent on the Super Bowl show. Have you seen it?
I've not seen it. No.
He's upside
Actually,
down.
I've seen a photo of him hanging upside down. Yeah.
So yeah, definitely needs some work across the week, and I think you've got a cuffed costal flying, Ross. So I think we're sorted. I think we're ticking that off nicely. But I wouldn't do a decline bench. No. But then again, everyone with a big chest, benches, bro. Anything else you want to add to that?
No, we covered that.
And a last one I've just got basically, why don't we, or more people do behind the head work? So behind the head, lat pull downs behind the head, shoulder pressing.
Because it's horrible. It's a terrible idea.
Yeah, it's a terrible idea. But firstly, with a behind the head lat pull down, you're making an already suboptimal lat exercise even worse. Like, we don't even do regular lat pull downs for our lats, do we? Like 90% of people in the gym doing a lat pull down, they're training the upper back. So why would I then put it behind the head? It's just a horrible, horrible way to get injured, in my opinion, for suboptimal exercises. It makes no sense.
If you look at the natural pain and motion for your shoulder, I'll do this for like YouTube people. Like your shoulder and your scapula is being like massively externally rotated like this is not a natural position for your shoulder to be in. Like, it's naturally sat more or less like a 45-degree angle. Like, if you see us doing like lateral raises and stuff, pretty rarely we're going to be like completely out to the side. It's going to be slightly in front of us.
Yes, scap plane.
So that's why we do like a high incline press as opposed to like a vertical, because it's a healthier position for the shoulders to be in. So when we're taking that, but it's a more extreme being behind the neck, especially if you've got like a bar where it's literally pulling everything back behind you. I can't imagine a more painful exercise. Fair play to people that even have the mobility to get into that position in the first place.
And I think there's that myth that it ticks off all three heads of the delts better and stuff, just
because it's behind you, so that has some link to the rear delt.
No, in a vertical plane. Just tick off each portion of the delt by itself, and get your anterior work from, as we said, a high incline press, or even some kind of front raise variation or something. If you've got such lagging anterior delts, a cuffed front raise, I think they're quite nice. To be fair, I've been programming with a couple of people recently, but you'll tick off most of your anterior work with a press, and then behind the head lat pull down again. If you want to train your lats, do some single arm pull downs or rows.
Well, again, if you look at the anatomy of the lat, when it's fully lengthened, it's in shoulder flexion in front of you. It's not going to be behind you, up over the head like this. It contributes to shoulder extension. So what's going on here? They are
bro science myths. It's just that old school training myth that's just nonsense that we need to knock out the park and get rid of. But thankfully, I have seen less people. No, the best is when, take it to the next level, they'll sit backwards on the lat pull down, so the legs aren't tucked in, and then they'll pull it behind the head. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're like being pulled up as well, and they're pulling the behind the head.
I think that's one of the worst trends in like the entire industry. I know we kind of slate people a lot on here, but it's the taking a machine and either changing the way you use it. So like, for example, a shoulder press, but just facing into the pad and doing the same thing, or using it to target a different muscle.
Shit, like they're going on a calf raise and doing a shoulder press.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like that. Belt squat calf raise instead of just going on a calf raise. Mental. It's just fads. Going on a like using the going on an assisted dip machine, but using the seat for the dips.
Yeah.
What? I think the worst though is people that close grip bench like that. I think that's one of the worst ever.
I'm trying to think what else. Going onto a press and shrugging it.
Standing on a shoulder.
Standing like with really wide stance because you have to stand over the bench and doing a shrug.
Chest presses, but you sit sideways on and then press.
I remember I saw the isometric at the top, just holding it.
Yeah.
I remember I saw I watched Guzman do the single arm back in the day, and I was like, that looks sick. I was like, I want to do that. I was like gutted. My gym didn't have a machine that let me do it. I was like, I really want to try that single arm chest press.
Oh, it's funny. There is some mad shit out there. People are still doing it. As you say, you got Guzman, who's how influential, how many years he's been training, he still does this mad crap.
Yeah. One of my clients said to me today, actually, so he said he's got one of his like female mates has come into the gym to start training, and he said that she was doing hip thrusts. He said it was a set of 15 reps, and the PT came over and told her that because she's a girl, she needs to stop training heavy and reduce the weight and do higher reps. But bear in mind, this guy's a paid professional. He gets paid to educate, train people. Secondly, I've never known a world where 15 reps constitutes heavy.
I had a client who we have hip extensions in, 45-degree hip extensions, and the hip extension was used up. So she asked the PT in the gym, and he put on an exercise ball and made her do crunches.
Crunches?
Yeah, because he thought that was the same exercise, just reverse.
Oh my God.
So he had her torso coming up on this exercise ball crunching, because he thought if you like rotate her 270 degrees or whatever, she's practically doing the same thing. Do you see what I mean?
Yeah, it's absolutely hard.
And this guy's a professional, and it's like, what?
It's because
you just have to do a shitty course that is literally like year 9 biology, and you get the ticket.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's some mad stuff out there, and we're not slating people. We're just trying to
get rid of that.
Get rid of the shit and get rid of the bullshit, because we don't bullshit. And we'll slate the odd person, like Jermaine Sullivan for slamming this as well. But that's all my questions done up, bro.
Yeah, me too. Like I said, we've got some longer topics which you can dig more into. The last few podcasts have been a bit like off the cuff a bit. No real planning going into it, but we do like doing the longer form planned topics, and we know that like you guys do as well. So we will get back to that. Yeah, I mean, anything else you want to add before we sign off?
No, wrap it up.
All right then. Well, thank you guys very much for listening, as always. Share this to your stories, get it up and out there. The podcast has been doing really well recently, so thank you for all your support. And we'll see you next week.
Cheers, guys.
Cheers.